Hey guys, Neil here at Sbardella Arms. If you like custom 1911, stick around. I've got some updates on the guns that I will be building in 2026. Now, some of you watching this video already know this, but for those of you who don't, my name is Neil Sbardella. My background is mechanical engineering, CNC programming, and machining. I ran my own aerospace machine shop for over 10 years, making parts for companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, among others. And while the aerospace machine work was interesting and fulfilling, what I really wanted to do was build my own line of firearms. Now, this idea of starting a firearms manufacturing business didn't just come to me out of thin air. I've been building guns for basically my entire adult life. Everything from rebarreling and accurizing rifles when I was a teenager to building my first bolt-action rifle from scratch when I was in my early 20s. And when I say from scratch, I mean literally machining the receiver from bar stock, the bolt shroud, the cocking piece, the firing pin. I designed and machined everything from scratch. In fact, this right here is a bolt action receiver blank with the Bolt Raceway EDM cut, if you can see that on video. This blank is heat treated, ready to be machined into a receiver. Takes 5 operations in 2 different machines to machine this into an actual serviceable receiver, so I consider it a blank. I started working on 1911s basically out of necessity in my early 20s. The first 1911 I ever owned was an inexpensive one, and I loved the gun. It just felt good in my hand, you know, the natural pointability of John Browning's design, and just the way the controls, the side stop, the mag release, the thumb safety, they were just felt like they were in the right spot. But the gun had a lot of problems from the factory. It would get the classic stovepipe jam a lot. The trigger was heavy, it had creep, and all of the small parts were either cast or MIM, and I didn't like that, so I ended up swapping out all the small parts for good, high quality machine parts. I did a nice trigger job on it. I lowered and flared the ejection port in my mill. You know, did like a reliability package on it basically. And it ended up being a really nice shooter. I later started Sbardella Arms, and I began to produce my own line of custom 1911 handguns. Now, about the same time I was transitioning out of aerospace machine work and I was beginning to build 1911s full time in the shop, the pandemic hit, and it basically turned everything upside down. Basically, every business in my area was experiencing high turnover of employees. It seemed to me like people didn't want to learn a trade or a skill anymore. And that presented a real problem for me as a business owner, because I was getting custom orders in for 1911s, and I really didn't have enough help in the shop to fill the orders that I was getting, just say every month. So I had a decision to make. Do I keep taking orders and keep taking people's deposits on guns and just keep pushing my lead time out? I feel like that's what a lot of custom 1911 companies did, was they, you know, were transparent with their customers when their lead times got pushed out to a year, 2 years, longer. I mean, lead times were just getting crazy at one point. But, you know, did I want to go that route, or did I want to kind of slow things down, look for some more help? So I ended up 2 years ago closing my books and just focusing on building the guns I had on the books. And for me, that was the right decision. I just wouldn't feel comfortable taking people's hard-earned money as a deposit on a gun if I knew that I couldn't fulfill that order within a reasonable amount of time. I mean, even being transparent to a customer that, hey, you know, the lead time is going to be a year and a half. And even if the customer is okay with that, I think that's fine for other companies, but just I personally was not comfortable doing that. So full transparency to everyone watching, I will be reopening Sbardella Arms as a one-man shop in 2026. So as a one-man shop, I'm going to be doing everything myself, from machining the parts to hand fitting, fitting the barrels, the bushings, finishing, everything myself. At least until I can hire on some qualified help sometime in the future. So I wanted to let everybody know that the guns I'm going to produce in 2026 will be a very limited quantity. I'm only able to produce a relatively small amount of guns myself over the course of the year without any help. So it really is going to be a limited production run. So because I'm only able to produce a relatively small amount of guns in a year myself, one at a time by hand, the options are going to change a little bit. So in the past, I've allowed customers to have like a minimally optioned build, or they could option the gun out sort of fully optioned, fully loaded with all the bells and whistles. And now, since I'm so limited on the amount of guns I can personally build in a year, I'm going to focus more on the top tier builds. I'm going to focus more on sort of the fully optioned end of the builds, and I may end up even building some guns in small batches as like special runs, fully optioned out, and simply post the guns up for sale versus only taking custom orders. I still will take custom orders, but there may be a sort of mix of I'll be building package guns versus allowing customers to order a gun. And I'll be coming out with a timeline, pricing, option list shortly, and keeping everybody updated on that. But I just wanted to come out with full transparency in this video and let everybody know that I will be building guns in 2026, and we have a plan. We're getting back to it. I appreciate everybody watching the video. Please like and subscribe if you like this sort of stuff, and we'll see you on the next one.